Hello and welcome. This is UR2D Formula E. We are here at Biscayne Bay, the first street race along the streets of Miami in this harbour section in real life for many, many decades when Formula E came here for their one and only race in 2015. We come here for our one and only UR2D race at this circuit. We're here with 11 drivers in qualifying, 3 fail to start. The Audi team once again having issues. Certain rumours and media sources within the German team saying that they may not make any of the races for the rest of the season. The team shall fold from here on in. But that's all just speculation. What I know for sure is that I'm joined by one of the greats of racing, Nuno.
Howdy.
Howdy. Expectations for the qualifying session. Go.
Well, I think we might see what we always been seeing. It's usually all about Corvid, and I stole these words for that pole position.
He's
Although
not here.
now it is. Yeah, and we got Anti, and yeah, Corvid might certainly be a big powerhouse, but it's interesting because it's not exactly looking like that so far, isn't it? Because we got Corvid for some reason in last place, at least on my grid. Not sure about yours.
Yes, sorry, I don't even have show fast slap on. Yes, he is in last place. He's already taken his first pit stop. There's no mandatory pit in qualifying, but the tyres will wear out slightly as you go along through the session. Go on.
There's also another thing I'd like to say, which is the track itself seems to be tighter than the others, at least on the straights, and there's a lot of like equal corners, a lot of 90-degree turns. It all seem to be like the same. So I guess if you know how to do those turns, you might actually know how to drive this track pretty well. So yeah, we might see potentially someone who just feels a lot comfortable with this track because of that, because of being comfortable on exactly the same type of turns the entire track.
It is a classic street track in that sense that it is quite literally 90-degree corner after 90-degree corner for the entire circuit. I mean, there is no two ways about that. Basically, do not have any variation on that theme. Personally, I really enjoy driving this track because there is a very clear distinction between the corners where you turn and the straights where you do not. Little section that we see Mattimar just threading the needle through right now. Here's our top runner on track. He's the only driver, apart from UR2D Master, yet to come in. Gorlomi says gravel on track. Oh dear. We'll have to see if that proves an issue. Maybe it's a pit lane entry too close or exit too close. We'll have to find that out in the lobby afterwards. Go on, Nuno.
Could be like the walls.
Maybe.
I believe like some of the walls seem to be a little bit grassy.
Yes, well, definitely the insides to prevent cutting. That is most certainly true. But I hope that there is not too much in terms of gravel on the racing line for the circuit itself. We'll have to wait and see about that. As it stands, Corvid is our fastest runner. He is in for a second time, which means he will be one of our lower runners, no doubt. UR2D Master is right down there, actually, but got Corvid just going through now. Second stop for him. Well, he got an outlap in, and what, 2 push laps for Corvid? Maybe less?
Yeah, might be around that. And yeah, we got Kraft in second. Not a big surprise. Last race was certainly frustrating for him. I think he was quite a big victim at the start and just couldn't really improve much. And yeah, Corinth in second. Also got Joha in third. He usually can do pretty well in this type of leagues. And yeah, Corlormi was also been doing quite decently, or quite well in this league in third.
Yeah, yeah, Kraft definitely stands a good chance. This could be his first win, to be honest. I was just going to comment on, it was just Crunk and Ewer who have just come into the pit lane. This is interesting timing, because of course the end of the qualifying session is after that race leader finishes his last lap, after which we'll have a countdown. I believe that the countdown will be longer than it was in Buenos Aires, just because of the issues that we had with it there. Yes, there is gravel, and I've just seen Kraft hit it in the wall on the exit of that corner, the pit entry corner. There's a little bit of gravel just in that walled section. The drivers will do well to avoid it if they can. Our race leader, as it stands in this sort of race. Well, it's Matty and Kraft at the moment, actually. And is that Anti maybe a lap down, I think? So this is the final lap that these drivers will put in. It is a tie for the fastest lap, just as it was in Buenos Aires with I Stole These Words and Corvid. It will be the exact same here, unless Corvid or Kraft can improve right at the end. Not seeing...
close. Very close for Kraft, at least. Just 500 behind.
And Gorlomi beats them all. Now that is a story. Oh, the man!
It's actually important for Super Bowl because you start ahead, so yeah, you have a bit of an advantage there.
The man from Italia tops the timing sheets in that Trulli machine. We will go to the results screen right now. And starting at the front for Super Pole is Gorlomi in the Trulli car. Tied behind were Kraft and Corvid. Unfortunately, we have a transponder issue and don't have their fastest lap times, but they were tied, I assure you of that much, on a .98. Matty Mar also to make Super Pole, as does UR in his second race, and he gets his second Super Pole appearance in a row. Red Lobster starts just behind. He'll start 6th on the grid. No Super Pole session for him, neither for the anti-amazing Pumpkin, UR2D Master, Mr. Crunk, and Kuchumacher. Here we go then. Time for the Super Pole session. These drivers will have to complete the 2 laps ahead of them. Gorlomi off to a good start. He starts on pole for Super Pole. Kraft right behind at the moment. Matimar, Corvid follow in tail as well.
Who's your little mistake there?
Kraft through. Gorlomi clips the gravel on that wall. UR, I think, hit it particularly hard and gets a pretty big slowdown. Not taking too many liberties with track limits at that corner. You've got to stay out of the barriers. Second lap we go on to now. We have Kraft in the lead, Corvid, then Matty, then Gorlomi, and surely this will be Kraft taking Super Pole for this race. Corvid gets a great exit though, and I think he might just have got him at the line. We'll see when the results come in now. And Corvid, by 0.26 seconds, takes pole for Super Pole. Fantastic performance and a great exit. The final corner was all that split these two drivers. Then Kraft will start alongside him on the front row. Matimar starts up in third, and group stage fastest time setter Gorlomi, with the error touching the gravel there, falls down to fourth. UR will start fifth. Here we are, 28 laps ahead of us at this Biscayne Bay circuit. We're racing Formula E in Miami, and we're underway. It's a good start from Kraft. Corvid slightly slow off the line. Matimar really looking to get in there if he can. Gorlomi, Lobster with a move up the inside. That fails dramatically. Kuchumacher hits the wall right at the back. Ewer gets punted there somewhere down the field. Kuchumacher still trying to make his way through turn one. Just about gets through there in the end. Kraft takes the lead of the Miami ePrix off Corvid there. Does get through on him. The man who took pole position off him at the final corner gets his comeuppance on lap one. Corvid looking to move into the final corner himself on this lap, but they are neck and neck going across the line at the end of a lap one. 27 to go here. Matimar in third. UR2D Master up to fourth at the start. A great race from him so far. A great start, rather. Anti just ahead of Gorlomi. Both had a bit of an issue going to turn one. Crunk, then Pumpkin, Kuchumacher at the end, and he just doesn't quite manage to make turn one again. I think it is the turning rate on that Dragon car. They don't have the right steering columns installed for the man making, hopefully, his first finish in the league today. Kraft, then Corvid, then Matty. Lobster through on UR2D Master. He was running very well at the start of last race in Buenos Aires before falling back down through the pack. No such issue on his Dragon car. Makes you wonder who the favourite driver is. Still side by side go Corvid and Kraft, our two C's. Going through on lap 3, Matimar right behind, and we'll get a slightly closer zoom in on these drivers. Now, the expected pit strategy, always in this league, is about lap 14 on a 28 lap race. Corvid up the inside of Kraft. This is going to be a really hard fought battle because track position, so important in these cars, but this circuit at least really does allow people to go side by side, and and battle it out for those positions. Obviously, ping permitting. Master up the inside of Anti and Lobster. Anti has a big crash, and he's right down into the runoff. He'll have to recover from that. After Pumpkin looking to add insult to injury, if he can make a move here, looks like he has that half done. UR just behind Gorlomi, Master and Lobster side by side. Craft up the inside on Corvin into the final corner, holds the lead, but for how much longer, we're not quite sure. Kukumacher still about 11 or 12 seconds off the back of this pack. Definitely an issue with his Dragon Racing car, but if you can get to the end with one driver retiring, that is points for that team. Now, going back to the strategy front, it is completely blown wide open as Matty battles with Kraft. Now, this could be absolutely crucial here. If he can't keep Corvid's slipstream, Kraft goes for a move into the penultimate turn. The slight wiggle on that straight coming to the last corner, but Matimar has stuck close with Corvid, sets his PB lap of the race, sets the fastest lap of the race. Can he take the lead of the race? Not quite. He goes to the outside through the double left-hander, hits the wall, and that's hurt Kraft more than it's hurt Matty. And that will be a big incident. We didn't see it as Kraft getting slammed in there. He was on the wrong side of Matty on the spec view. But Matimar clearly heading big there. Corvid winning big out of that. Now, at any point, these drivers could go in for an alternate strategy. Anti did it to wonderful effect in Buenos Aires, going in super early, lap 6, running 22 laps on his final hard stint as he goes alongside with our group stage leader, Gorlomi, the anti-amazing man. Yet to make super pole so far in his Formula E career, but I feel it's only a matter of time for this young, promising racer. UR and Lobster side by side, clean racing there. The Turk looking to get the one up on the South African. If he can, he hits the wall though on the outside, comes under pressure from Anti. Round the outside goes the Finn. UR2D Master into the wall at the pit entry. Lobster and Anti both through on him at the moment. What a pack of racing this is. We'll go back up to P2 just for a second, where it's still Matty holding off Kraft, and he will be the best friend of the Andretti team right here, right now, the US team on home soil, and the pole that is fighting off their biggest competition, Lobster, UR2D Master, all in a huge pack. UR2D Master big into the wall there, swept up by Anti and Gorlomi. Lobster and UR still side by side, slightly higher up. Big collisions though in the background. Will any of these drivers pull that trigger? Go for the undercut. UR2D Master and I think the Anti-Amazing really hit hard by that one. Sent flying way backwards with a big collision at the final corner, and so is Lobster and Gorlomi. So in the end, we still have these three cars so tight-knit, and the only man to really benefit is the Virgin Racer, both in game and real life. You are the South African in 4th position, has absolutely ran away from this pack through 2 major diplomatic incidents on one straight, pretty much the start and the end of it. The Spaniard side by side with the Italian there, things heating up in the Mediterranean. Well, we're told by the, I don't even know what sea Miami is by the side of, shortly the Atlantic, right? Something like that. Anti ran the outside of Lobster, no room at the end for him there. Can he make a move? Going into the fast left-hander. Lobster clips the grass on the inside, side by side. They go down to the left-hander now. Can he make a move? Yes, he can. The Finn past the Turk when it's the battle of these two drivers. What a battle it is. Anti of the inside onto the pit exit makes a very opportunistic move and does get the position there. First 2 drivers into pit lane. It's Gorlomi and it's Crunk. Gorlomi looking at redemption in this race. He'll need a bit of clean air, and unfortunately, well, that's Corvid going through there. I think Kukumacher will be too far back from these drivers to be of any real threat to them. It's difficult to tell with Crunk. He might be somewhere in that vicinity, actually. Look how slow the pit lane is. He's only about a second off Crunk now, and he could provide him some issues. We'll have a look. Meanwhile, Matimar into the pit lane as well, as is Lobster. So those drivers before stopped on their 10th lap of the race. Matimar and Lobster stopping on their 11th lap of the race. Of course, the pit lane is 2 corners, or at least the exit 2 corners, before the start-finish line. Not too dissimilar from Buenos Aires, but a slightly stronger thing there as well, further away from the start-finish straight. Lobster and Gorlomi side by side, a lap behind Kraft, who is finally rid of Matimar, running in 5th. Nuno, your thoughts so far?
There's not much I can say. I literally just joined right now.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't really think about that one. Basically, I'll update you. Big crashes. We're now joined by Nuno in the race as well, so this is great. UR2D Master into pit lane. Nobody else in on this 12th lap of the race. We've had pitters on lap 10, 11, 12, and I have very little doubt we'll see some in on lap 13 as well. It's looking like Corvid dominance here. We had Corvid lead away from Kraft, held up by Matty Marr. He's actually nearly a lap ahead of the Polish driver now. But will Matty get a big undercut from that? We'll have to wait and see. Kukumacher is into the pit lane. He is in on his 12th lap. It is Pumpkin's 13th lap that he comes in on as well. And all fair play to Kukumacher for racing this one out and seeing if he can pick up points at the end. Kraft is in. That is his 14th lap of the race that he's going in on, splitting the difference right in the middle. The only 3 drivers yet to pit are our top 3. Antti trying the exact reverse of his strategy from before. He backs his ability to overtake with fresher tyres on this track and might stretch this first stint very long to stay away from traffic, but we've not really seen much traffic since the pit stops. I think the undercuts and overcuts and wobbling free has all made these drivers slightly space out a little bit. Corvid in on lap 15, UR and Antti, all of our drivers in by the 15th lap. Nuno.
Yeah, it does seem to not be that much of an eventual race compared to last week, where there was quite a lot of tactics, a lot of undercuts that would actually give you positions and all of that, which made the race a lot more interesting. This time it seems like everyone is just so spaced out, and I think it's really because of the turns being all equal. Like if you know one turn, you know all of the turns, and if you know any of the turns, then you're not gonna know like all of the other turns as well. So it really, I don't know. I feel like that might be the reason why there's such a bigger like fuel gap on this track.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. What I do find interesting is Kraft and Matty. I believe Kraft had broken free of him. I'm not entirely sure. But definitely a tyre advantage there, and would have been a very deliberate overcut by the Finn. Go on.
Seems like Carlami may have certainly, I think, undercutted Antti before, like, because you can see the difference of tires. So Antti really is gonna have to. I guess he cost himself a position with all of this. Although I guess Carlami also made quite a bigger undercut here, because his tires are quite old, if I correct.
Yes, that looks right to me as well. Yes, no doubt in that. It was a close pack before. All we definitely know is you are running in 4th, looking really good, having come in on lap 15. But Antti still on pretty fresh tyres. I thought maybe you came in on lap 14, don't quite recall. Antti on still very fresh tyres. Could he make up that 4 seconds to the South African, even with Gorlomi in the way?
Yeah, and I mean, I think they just seem to have the exact same tires, so it's really a matter of pace, so it might actually be hard, but yeah, Gorlami, wait, actually, oh no, Gorlami is the one 5 seconds behind Kraft here, and yeah, they also Kraft seems to be in a similar situation to Wente, although I think Mati didn't do that much big of an undercut, but it's still going to be hard, because track position, I'm pretty sure it matters a lot here, but now Kraft goes on inside line there, side by side, and I think he has 2nd place.
It looked like Matty gave that one up relatively easily as well from what we caught of it, but Kraft hits the wall. Oh, yeah, that's a fatal error.
Yeah, I think it's really all about hitting the walls, isn't it? Especially that one on the when you're passing the pits, like there's that gravel thing where you just slows it down quite massively. And yeah, I think that's one way of passing here is by waiting for the car ahead to make that mistake of crashing to the wall.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. It's yeah, no, interesting. Definitely, and that's why one of the... Sorry, go on.
And we have a bit of a battle here for P7. We got UR2D Massive now Pumpkin with Red Lobster, who we know caused a lot of chaos last round.
What we just saw earlier, actually, was UR2D Master putting Lobster in the wall. That's why he fell back to Pumpkin. Oh, and he's big into the wall there. I don't know what he was trying. I think maybe he saw himself alongside and just got swept into the wall there. Crunk, very competitive here. Oh, he does hit the gravel as I say that, unfortunately. But he's actually doing quite well. For a man who's not known to be necessarily on the pace, we had Lobster, who was running podium positions last race. Pumpkin, doubtless fast, and a Trilly team that is performing well this season. UR2D Master, the name gives him all the description you need. Go on.
And he's really getting close to Gorlami now. I just saw him, I think, hitting that wall on the close to the pitch, and yeah, and he really started to be very close to the tail of Gorlami. I think he hits the wall on the inside this time around. So yeah, and he's really probably trying to catch him up now.
Yes. In the meantime, UR2D Master closed in on by Pumpkin. Lobster, unfortunately for him, has just gone backwards in this race. Do you think it's a racecraft issue? Go on.
Pumpkin with an amazing move there on UR2D Master. Oh my god, he's having some lag there.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, but I
very
saw
unfortunate.
UR2D must have a bit of a compromise exit on turn 1, then Pumpkin managed to go on the inside cleanly on turn 2 and made a really amazing move there. Up to P7 he goes.
I
But
think
yeah, Anti just.
Matty's undercut is really not helping him out here, because look at the state of those hard compound tyres. They've done 10 laps
Yeah.
now, and you are on a much fresher soft. Sorry, not on a soft. Those don't exist here. On a much fresher hard.
Anti and the Gorlami here for turn 1. I think Anti's gonna give up the position, but he was
Yeah.
already ahead, and so yeah, it's that battle, and also Yola versus Matimar.
Absolutely. I mean, look, this is going to be very close. You are. Oh, I think he might have been swept there by Matty, or definitely some kind of ping issue, because he was about a car length back, and I just saw him get swept right back into a gravelly or grassy inside of the corner. Corvid managing the pace pretty well. He did have about a 7 or 8 second gap on Kraft. That is just 5 now. Let's see their last lap times. Well, it's actually, Kraft lost a little bit of time to Matty on that last lap, but Ewer is looking like a man possessed here, and I think he could be on for his first podium. Will it be 2 podiums in a row for the Mahindra team, with Jaruni unfortunately not here with us today, but he got that amazing podium drive with the undercut last time. Matty trying the same strategy here, but I think this might have thrown the podium for him. He was looking so tight with Kraft on pace, but giving Kraft that tyre advantage once Kraft got that move done, made the mistake, sure, but then he finally solidified it, and he's just been able to run away from the Polish driver, who may see that podium slip through his fingers here today. Gorlomi and Anti, and this is an incredible battle, still really going at it. I'm not sure they're going to catch Ewer, especially with the state of Gorlomi's tyres, very old at this point in the race. We'll go to our race leader Corvo, who is quite substantially ahead of this pack. He has got just a lap and a half to go now. Kraft 4 seconds back. Matty really fallen back. There is lots of battles still to be won and lost here in Biscayne Bay. Only a couple laps to decide it all. Matty Moss still runs third. Corvid runs in the lead. Surely this will be it for him. The victory. UR2D Master was into the wall there on his 26th lap of the race. Lost some time to Lobster ahead. Crunk behind Lobster. Back up into 8th position. Corvid on what is damn near a victory lap for him.
Oh, with the mistake, Anti on the inside. There he goes.
Anti through. But how long for Gorlomi there? We're going to have to go way out for the zoom.
Very close to that.
Ewer and Matty, we can see both battles in your picture here. Ewer bucks back, Gorlomi into the wall. Unbelievable scenes here on the final lap in Miami. But speaking of, Corvid wins for the 3rd time on the bounce. And this man is taking this championship by the horns. Kraft will take 2nd, and so tight across the line. It will be Matty Marr by 3/10, taking that podium 2 in a row for Mahindra. A great race by both of those drivers, and Matty just held on. Anti in 5th, Gorlomi a huge final lap accident. P6 for him. He'll have his teammate right behind him. 7th place for Pumpkin. Going down the rest of the order, we then have Red Lobster, who finished in 8th, climbed up from 9th in the end, which belongs to UR2D Master, scoring points here today, and Crunk taking 10th. Kukumacher retiring out on that final lap, but not to finish anyways, was 11th place in his first, well, I think we'll still count that as a finish for Dragon Racing. Gorlomi with the fastest lap there for the Trulli team as well. Good points for them, but Corvid, especially with the absence, if I store these words, will be running away with it now. The 3 points for Super Pole, the 25 for the race win. Matty Marr will be elated with his first podium. The man who's managed 7th place 4 times in a row so far. Look at the progress from him. Unfortunately, we won't have time to do post-race interviews, but I'd love a closing word from Nuno.
Yeah, I haven't exactly saw much of the start and not know exactly what happened. I was already close to the pit window, and but yeah, I do think that the other cuts kind of worked for Matty. I think I guess he was close to Kraft, but then lost. But yeah, in the end, you could see how hard it was for Yoda to overtake Matty because of that ping, and overtaking is already hard just by itself, and adding the ping where it's kind of just impossible to go side by side, and for the driver that had to know where you are, it's just really hard. Then that big crash there with Antin Gorlami was really on his tail for a long time. Then I think Gorlami made a bit of a mistake, and Antti just pulled out inside, and then yeah, there was a bit of a crash there on turn 1, which I don't know exactly how it happened, but yeah, Gorlami just got sent to the wall. I'm not sure if Antti could have done exactly much. I guess there might need to be a bit of a review on that one, but yeah, it was interesting to see this race, and you actually saw some undercuts being done here, which did check up things a little.
It looked for a good while like the Matty undercut simply wasn't going to work, that he was going to lose too much time to Ewer, but I think it might be the pace of that Virgin team. Kraft running away, Ewer catching him. Maybe it was the right call in the end. Well, he'll certainly be elated with a third place finish here today, his first podium in the league. Antti went for the overcut and in the end just about got it to work for him. Gorlomi's tyres were finished, but that turn 1 barrier really ended his race. That is all for today. Our finishes here in Miami. We'll head to Long Beach next week, a track that will be revealed with its finalised layout tomorrow. Drivers will be able to hop on that as soon as it's done. Until then, bye-bye.